Star Wars sucks.
Yeah.
As a whole. There's only 2 Star Wars movies I'm okay with, and I could do without them. Like, I could never see them again, and I'd be 100% okay with that. Now, word on the street is that The Mandalorian kicks anus.
Yeah.
But I'd venture to say that even though it does, or it may, I should say, that, and I would maybe admit it. No, in fact, I would admit it if it does, that I would still be 100% okay with never watching it again. Because Star Wars is fucking garbage to me. It's absolute shit. I don't like it. It stinks. What's your take on that? I know you're a Warzite.
I'm not a Warzite.
You were for a second though, right?
Yeah, and that was before I saw Return of Jedi. I the first time we saw New Hope, I thought it was fun, but sucky. When I saw it again, I actually enjoyed big chunks of it. But it does have a lot of problems. Like, Luke is terrible.
Yeah, he's bad, dude.
And Mark Hamill.
It's shocking that. Yeah, I was about to say it's shocking that Mark Hamill's Luke, because Mark Hamill's like a beloved institution. I'm sorry, in the acting community now, especially in the voice acting community. Now, I've expressed hatred for Mark Hamill before, but I was just doing that hyperbolically. I like Mark Hamill.
Yeah, he's the Joker.
He's one of the definitive Jokies, as I like to call him. But it's shocking that that's the same guy, because he's fucking bad.
And from New Hope to Empire, it's a huge improvement.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still not great.
He's way better.
Way better. Yeah.
Yeah, way better.
So yeah, like I think the first one's okay. It's like a 6 for me, because it does have
1 out of 10, 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I like the trench one, and I like big chunks of it, but it's still very, not
I haven't
great.
rewatched A New Hope in a long time, but my impression was and has always been each time I've seen it, and I've seen it way more times than I'm comfortable to say, which only means one thing in my case. If you know my viewing habits, is that I keep on giving it a shot, and every time I'm like, that was a movie. That's it. My impression has always been it's cheesy, it's hammy, it's the effects are impressive, especially for the time.
Although not anymore, they're just CG now.
Well, yeah, that's true. I'm talking about the originals here, and I remember the first time I watched it before I haven't seen any of them. I wasn't old enough to see them when they came out, but I saw them in the late 80s when there was still no fucking special editions, So I was one of those kids. And of course the legend precedes them, right? There's these legendary flicks, blah, blah, blah. And I sat there and I watched this thing. And maybe the first time there was a little expectation. I don't know. I don't remember that being the thing. All I remember was like knowing that Star Wars was supposed to be cool. But I didn't read up on it or nothing. I wasn't like buzzing, like, hell yeah, I must see Star Wars. Just one day decided I'm going to rent Star Wars. Saw it, and at the end I was like, mind you, I was a kid at the time. I was like, man, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching like fucking Conan the Barbarian. That shit was like fucking peanuts to me. Like, this sucks, man. I felt, as a kid, a little stupid brat kid, I felt like, it's a kid's movie. And to this day, that's what I feel it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy plenty of kids' movies. Star Wars is not one of them. It's a kid's movie that I do not enjoy. And there's cool stuff in it. Grand Moff Tarkin is fucking awesome. And that was one thing when I first saw it. Of course, everybody, before they saw Star Wars at that point in time, knew that Darth Vader was the shit. When I first saw Star Wars, I was like, Darth Vader sucks. What is this? I don't get it. Why does everybody think he's cool? Of course, that would be cleared up later with Empire Strikes Back. But in that one, it was like, but I know for damn sure when Star Wars first came out, people thought he was cool then too. And I can't explain it other than they thought the suit was cool.
Yeah.
Because he fucking sucked in that. He was lame.
Yeah, he's a wiener.
So, whatever. I thought that to this day, every time I've seen it, it's just been like, yeah, whatever. It's a, overblown kids movie, whatever. I get why kids would be impressed by that. And people that hadn't seen effects like that before. But really, beyond that, what the fuck, Right?
I guess, yeah.
Me, that's what I think. When I watched Empire, I was like, all right, this is a decent fucking space adventure.
Yeah.
The characters are way fucking better for one.
Yeah, big time.
Like, it's like, everybody.
You don't want to punch Luke anymore.
Definitely don't want to punch Luke. Definitely want to bone Leia.
Yeah.
I think Leia really came into form, in that one versus the first, which was just
a chick.
The only space was Leia in that movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you could fill it up with anything. And, of course, fucking, Han was the shit.
No, Hans.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Hans Olo, as they call him in fucking Iceland. Facts, by the way. Yeah. But anyway, so, whatever. Empire was like, all right, cool, man. I get it now. I get it, I thought. And I saw Return of the Jedi, and immediately I said, I don't get it. This fucking sucks.
Return.
The worst movie ever.
Return is impressively bad. Like, I do think that Empire was the one that made me go, hell yeah, dude. I'm a Warzite. And then I popped in Return of the Jedi. Conveniently enough, there was like a week in between. So for a week, I was like, hell yeah. Freaking Vader kicks ass and shit. Hell yeah. And then I saw that and I was like, boo! Half of it's good. The Empire, the freaking, the Emperor and Luke and Darth Vader shit, really good. The rest, crap.
The ratio of quality to non-quality reminds me of Last Jedi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some cool stuff in it, but mostly it's fucking feces.
Yeah.
That's Return of the Jedi to me. Like, some cool stuff in this, obviously, but the rest, woo, stinky.
Yeah, the whole freaking shit on Endor. Endor?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the Finn and Poe shit of that movie.
Only it's stretched out for an entire half of a movie.
Yes, man.
It's like, dude.
I mean, to be fair, so is the case in the other one. But the point is, it's a bad follow-up to a great movie. So, yeah, Star Wars lost me there. So when the fucking special editions rolled around, I didn't give a fuck. I watched them on video eventually when they came out on video, but I didn't give a fuck. And, I thought that the special editions sucked, of course, because they were just awful CGI pasted over movies that I didn't really like anyway.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the prequels came out, and it became evident that to anyone with a brain, that George Lucas didn't know what the fuck he was doing ever. And if you go back and you realize what happened behind the scenes of the first trilogy, that's just like up front, period. Yeah. Point, front and center. The first one, the stories are rampant of him not knowing how to direct people, not knowing how to talk to anyone. His wife had a lot to do with his ex-wife, I should say, had a lot to do with how that movie came together. The people on the set helping to make it work. He's a fucking mess.
No.
Part 2, he didn't even write or direct. But now he gets a credit because he changed enough of them to get a fucking credit. But really, he didn't write or direct that shit at all. Then Part 3, Return of the Jedi, he fucking forces his way into the writing room again, and it fucking halfway sucks.
Stinky.
So Lucas sucks, and the prequels proved it because stinkers the whole way through. Now you like, what's it called, the last one?
Yeah, I'll give you a rundown of them. First one sucks. Major stinky butts.
Yeah.
But it is kind of watchable as a film, though it sucks. It's a shitty movie.
Yeah, it's a god-awful movie.
Yeah, the second one is like a non-movie, dude. Like freaking, like we have like an unspoken code where we just don't speak during film.
Yeah.
And that's something that carries over with The Guardian, and at the time this is when I saw it with him. And it is so impressively boring and shit that not even 5 minutes in, the code was broken. Because somehow 5 minutes in, we're like, this sucks. How is it this sucky? Like, people say episode 1's the worst one. I think the second one, episode 2, is garbage. There's nothing. Nothing happens for 2 hours. And the last 15 minutes are decent, but they look like cartoons, unfortunately.
The only reason I'll prefer episode 2 over episode 1 is because, visually speaking, there's a lot more going on in episode 2. A lot more diversity going on visually. That's it, though. It really is just me trying to give my fucking brain a break because the fucking movie sucks so hard.
Yes.
requires absolutely no brain function that you have to entertain yourself somehow.
Yes.
And I'd rather have colorful visuals in front of my eyes than fucking desert and some brat that sucks. And C-3PO, which I hate. I hate C-3PO. Always have, always will, to my dying day. I wish Anthony Daniels death. So,
dude, you gotta stop wishing people's deaths in this video.
Dude, Anthony Daniels sucks balls. As a human being, he's a piece of fucking garbage.
Why?
And somehow he's gotten away with it for decades now.
Was there a reason?
Yeah, he treated what was the stupid name? The Kenny, whatever the fuck, the guy that was in the fucking R2D2 suit. He treated him like absolute shit.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, he's come out. Well, he's dead now, but probably because Anthony Daniels
stabbed
him to death somewhere in some alleyway with a chunk of like his C-3PO armor or something. But yeah, like he was notoriously god awful to him. He's very haughty, very stuck up. Thinks he's hot shit. Fuck you, man. You're a tin can that's annoying as shit in a movie. Like, you're not cool at all. Your character should have been shot in the first one in the head with a fucking AK. I don't care what year it is.
Yeah,
bring out the AK.
Ice Cube rolls up in his Lolo.
Yeah, bring out the fucking chrome pistola and, just 2 fucking hollow points straight to the dome. I hate C-3PO. He should die. And as well, Anthony Daniels. But anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. So I would rather watch colorful garbage than bland feces starring a brat that can't act and, fucking C-3PO. Fuck that shit. I hated it. I hated both of them, but
I couldn't do it, dude. The second one broke me quick.
You know what I hated the worst about the second one? That they misused Christopher Lee that bad.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you do that? How? Even Christopher Lee can't save your movie? That sucks balls.
Yeah,
and he's been in some awful movies where he saved them because he's entertaining to watch. And this,
he's just
most wiener fucking character ever.
Yeah, weenie hole.
I hated everybody jizzing over the Yoda Dooku fight.
That was bad.
First of all, Count Dooku. What kind of fucking bullshit? The names with Lucas suck. Jar Jar Binks, Dooku. Remember that time he tried to pass off Darth Icky in a game? Yeah, that happened. Look it up. It sucks. You'll hate Lucas more than ever when you read that story. But Count Dooku, that's what you named this fucking cat?
Like Dookie.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, that sucked. Yeah. I hated it. And the ending. Holy shit, the ending. Worst ending ever. The Gungan battle droid fucking fight.
That's the first movie, dude.
Is that how that ended?
Yeah.
Fuck, well, see, they just blended into one fucking movie for me.
Yeah, that's the first movie, and it's like towards the end.
It sucks. Either way,
the second one actually ends decently with the Emperor doing his thing and all the clones going.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then nothing happens in the next one.
It ends
that it leads up to.
It ends kind of cool, and you're like, all right, cool. The Emperor is actually kind of menacing. That's cool. And then it cuts to freaking Anakin and Shitme getting married, and you're like, bullshit! The acting is bad again. And they but yeah, those 15 minutes at the end with all the cool shit are cool. It looks bad. It looks like a shitty cartoon.
Yeah.
But like those 15 minutes are good. It's just woo. The rest sucks ass. And that ending with Padme, what's her face? Padme? I don't care.
Yeah, Padme.
It's terrible. Part 3 though, I actually kind of like. But it has shitty parts. Like the freaking big iguana. And then like Grievous is kind of lame.
Very lame.
But at least within the first like 15 minutes, you get like actual camaraderie between them, and you feel like they've actually known each other for a while. Unlike the other 2 movies, where like these people just hate each other. What is this? There's at least something there, and it shows restraint at times where scenes that you think are gonna be ruined aren't, and you're like, holy shit, is this the one he wanted to make? And the other ones were just like, crap, I gotta lead up to that. It's okay. It's still not a good movie, mind you.
No, it's garbage.
But it's like the best one of the freaking prequels, and I would even say better than Return of the Jedi.
It's definitely better than Return of the Jedi. But I hate Return of the Jedi, so that says that.
Yeah.
I'll admit that. It's better than Return of the Jedi, but it's it's hot fucking shit. I mean, it's really bad, but it's one of those that benefits from what its predecessors were. And in this case, I mean predecessors in its own trilogy,
Feces,
obviously. So when you got two literal heaping piles of smoke and caca.
That's the thing. The third one's an actual movie.
Yeah.
The previous two are things that you're watching and you hate yourself.
Yes,
you're like, why is this a thing? Whereas the third one, you're like, oh, it's an actual movie. It's structured like a movie. It shows restraint. There's actual cool moments here and there. Some of the acting sucks, but it's a movie at least.
Yeah, I agree. I'll agree, but I do hate it. You know what I'm saying? So then years later, of course, some stuff passed. We're not even going to talk about the expanded universe and the cartoons and the comics because nobody cares about them in the production level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fans cared about them, and there's legitimately some cool stuff there that I'm more than willing to admit, but on the production level it means nothing because the movies are at the epicenter of it all. So, and even people will say that about Disney Star Wars now, but Lucas said that himself.
Yeah.
He basically decided what canon was. And it was willy-nilly. If he decided that this beloved thing was no longer canon, that was it. Didn't matter how much you liked it. So it's not even a fucking Disney thing. It was a thing already. So get over that fucking shit.
I think the only thing that with Disney is that they said none of that is.
Yeah. So people are pissed at that, but really always been that way. But anyway, the fucking thing with the excitement when Disney purchased it, point of contention for some, like they didn't want Disney owning it. What was your take when those news happened?
As long as it's away from freaking Lucas, I'm fine. They could literally give it to the hobo across the street that strokes his weenie, and it would probably be a better movie than Lucas freaking making his own movies.
Yeah, no shit, man.
So I was like, you know what? Good.
That was my thought, too. And I'm no proponent of Disney at all. I was just like anybody but Lucas at this point. He does not deserve his creation. And I don't even dig that creation, and I'm saying that. You know what I'm saying? So that was my impression, too. Now, I didn't get to see Force Awakens when it came out. I got to see it a few years later.
The day that we went to see The Last Jedi.
Yeah, actually, right. Yeah, that's right. The day The Last Jedi, I wouldn't say came out, but maybe a day or two after it came out.
Yeah.
That was the day I saw Force Awakens. And unpopular opinion here, I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, Force Awakens is like the good New Hope.
Yeah.
It is just a remake, basically.
Now, I know that's a common argument point for a lot of people. Force Awakens is a better New Hope versus shut the fuck up, you're a loser, is basically the argument.
Yeah.
But it is.
It is.
It just fucking is.
It is the same movie. And I can see that being like something that someone doesn't like. But as someone who, thought that the first movie had cool moments, but was overall just kind of okay, it was cool to see one that was actually cool.
Yeah.
It does have problems. Like Poe is a useless character in Force Awakens. You're like, what is this character?
Agreed.
But it's a fun movie.
Yeah. That's possibly the best Finn has been.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So another character of contention. I don't know how he's going to be in Rise of Skywalker, but he certainly was useless in Last Jedi. Ditto on Poe on that one. But his character was actually interesting there. Just everything was like, let's take that formula and step it up a notch. Even on let's just be honest here. On the visual level, you can't even contend. The effects for Force Awakens are leagues better than the ones for A New Hope, period. It doesn't matter how impressive the feat was back then. It's just better effects. So just on that effects level, it's got to beat. And I'm not saying that because you must just like new effects. No, there's some movies like I'll give you a good example, the werewolf transformation effect from An American Werewolf in London. It's going to take a lot to beat that. To date, they have not. CGI or not, they have not beat that transformation. It's still one of the best, if not the best, werewolf transformation in cinema history, period. A New Hope, those effects have all been beaten. Yeah, period. And this movie did all the better. So, yeah, I had no problem with a female lead, all that stuff. It was just a much more enjoyable movie, and it gave a little bit of. It didn't feel like a kids movie, but it was family friendly nonetheless. So yeah, I agree with that. Then Last Jedi came out. We'll get to that. And look, I'm not saying that I'm like all for Force Awakens. Like I could do without it, whatever. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it quite a bit. Last Jedi though. What's your take on that?
I think that there is a lot to like, but it's got problems. Mainly, any other plot that's not Ren and Rey, or Fundios. The side plots are pretty bad, and I kind of feel for J.J. Abrams because he did set up a lot with Force Awakens, and this dude, in a bid to be different, which is something that should be commended.
Yeah.
I think just destroyed everything that he built up in Force Awakens.
Right.
And now he has to come in and be like, shit, now I gotta finish this that this guy completely freaking changed. Which really is a problem of the way they're making the movies. There's no freaking long-term plan here. They're just going movie to movie. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, though I think it should be commended that he at least tried to do something different, it does backfire at times, and you're just like, "What is that?" But I didn't hate it. It was fine.
Look, it's a tough one to call because something inside me. Look, I'll put it this way: I would rather watch The Last Jedi over any of the prequels. Though I think Revenge of the Sith is a better movie. But I would rather watch The Last Jedi over that. I would rather watch The Last Jedi than I would Return of the Jedi.
Well, yeah.
You know? Do I think it's a better movie than Return of the Jedi? Visually, sure. But other than that, not really.
Yeah.
But they both suck. So there you go. Here's the thing. I did like the Kylo and Rey stuff. And yeah, that includes the Luke stuff, by the way, which is a big point of contention.
Yeah,
why would Luke be that way? Come on, man. It's obvious why he would be that way.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
It's even like ingrained in the character, whatever. It's good to see weakness in Luke. He doesn't have to be an uber god. But anyway, I liked all that stuff. That was cool. But like you say, the Poe, the rebellion, and what's it called? What's his name? Finn and Rose shit? What was that?
Yeah.
The Rose and Finn shit on that fucking planet
it's atrocious.
Was Lucas level prequel shit.
Yeah, like people who are shitting on this one for not being, like what they like. My Star Wars as kids. I mean, they did the Lucas thing and it was bad.
It was fucking atrocious. So, I think the biggest tragedy is, as you say, that so much was set up and a lot of it disregarded. But I was of the mind, and still am, that I'm kind of for that. I'm kind of for throwing a wrench in the works because you never know what comes out the other end. I just think the wrench he threw in the works was literally a wrench of suck.
Yeah, I think the wrench that he threw was way, way bigger than the freaking machine that he was throwing it into.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, I understand changing up some stuff, but it backfires on a lot of stuff where you're like, you didn't have to, destroy everything that was set up.
Yeah.
Every little thing. Like, come on, dude.
Now, we don't know in the long run how that's going to inspire Abrams to finish things off.
Or make him hang himself in his closet.
Because it takes a particular type of fuck up to make people retroactively fix things. So it might potentially lead to greatness. And maybe years later, people will look back on the movie more kindly, though I doubt it. But, I don't know. Now, there was the offshoot movies in the process. We haven't seen Solo because
It's Solo.
It's Solo. Yeah, like I don't want a Solo movie without Harrison Ford. You know what I'm saying? And the guy might be good, and eventually I will see it. I mean, that's an eventuality. As much as I dislike Star Wars, it's just a thing that I see. I have no shame in admitting that. People are crossing their arms, staring at their little Star Wars posters on the wall, going, "I'm not gonna see Rise of the Skywalker because of fucking
clearly gonna see it."
Yeah, you're clearly gonna go watch it and or rent it and or even if you rip it illegally off the net, you still saw it. It still counts, you fool. Stop pretending you're gonna fucking see it. If I, who doesn't give a flying fuck about the franchise, will see it, you're definitely gonna see it. So shut the fuck up. But anyway, so Solo is an eventuality. I don't know. Maybe it'll be cool, maybe not. I don't know. Whatever, you know. But Rogue One was another one that kind of was important to the mythos and the tapestry of it because it fed into the events of A New Hope. And I gotta say, I said that there's a couple of movies that I do enjoy in this. One of them clearly is Empire Strikes Back, and for me the other one is Rogue One, which if I were inclined to rewatch movies, it would be those two. And Rogue One is kind of like a miraculous movie. You know, it got a lot of flack for the fact that, Gareth Edwards kind of had it arrested from his hands and there was reshoots and he wasn't entirely happy with the finished version, whatever. I think considering that, it's even more of a feat that it came out as well as it did. For me, it made A New Hope worth rewatching. Because it gave a lot of those events a lot more, fucking impact and oomph. So, and then for me, it was also the first time Star Wars looked like a credible reality. You know, the way stuff was shot, the way stuff looked, it had a visual impact that none of the other movies had ever had on me before. So, I love the shit out of it. You were a little indifferent to it. I don't know what I would describe your reaction to.
I think that as a visual movie, it's pretty impressive. It is probably the best looking and the best world building that the series has had. And it has a lot of cool moments. It's probably the coolest Darth Vader has ever been in that scene.
Yeah.
Which apparently was just thrown in last minute, by the way. But I did feel some of the character stuff fell a little flat. But it was a good movie. It was probably one of the better ones, I would say. But yeah, I was a little like... I wasn't as hot as you and Guardian. But I did like it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at my reaction to it because I am notoriously not a fucking Star Wars fan. So that one was like, hell yeah. Now I can get excited for the... Here was the thing for me. I was like, hell yeah. Now I can finally be excited as Goontick is. And then your reaction was lukewarm. I was like, damn it. Back to the fucking can for me. So, I don't know, man. Unpopular opinion because, really, Star Wars has always been a fucking
I do feel that
hotbed.
I do feel that... it wasn't super well loved by the fans.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel that is kind of ridiculous because it is a good movie. I do feel like some of the character stuff didn't go. It wasn't fleshed out enough, you know.
I will say this: the tides are turning on that. Like as I've been seeing people talk. A lot more people are looking favorably upon it than they initially were because I think it laid. Just like everything Star Wars, it becomes a victim to like this vitriolic and poisonous fandom that Star Wars has. So before it even gets a chance to be anything, people destroy it. Sometimes rightfully so. Last Jedi. But sometimes, like, dude, can you just watch the fucking thing before you preemptively decide that it sucks?
Yeah.
And I think that was one of those movies that got shafted because of that. And I think people are realizing, and I've seen it, a lot more people are like, yo, you know what? This is a good movie. And, but we shall see.
It is a little bit unfortunate that, I don't know if it's for the better or not, but that they didn't let him do his thing, and they didn't let the dudes doing solo do their thing, but they let freaking Ryan Johnson do his thing. It's like, come on, man, he should have been the guy that should have been reined in a little.
And the sad part is Ryan Johnson's gonna get a lot of fucking flack for this for the rest of his career, because again, aforementioned poisonous fandom of Star Wars. But Ryan Johnson's a good director.
Yeah,
he's a damn good director. He just wasn't the director for a Star Wars movie. Yeah. And you could tell that he wanted to make something good. He just didn't make something good. He made something at best highly mediocre.
Yeah.
Too
long too.
Yeah, definitely too fucking long with too much useless shit in it.
Movies, music, story times, all kinds of shit for you. Anything goes inside and out from a couple of corpulent dudes. Movies, music, story times, all kinds of shit for you. Anything goes